What's going on, guys? In this video I'll show you how to monitor your Fastify APIs in real time using APItoolkit. So whether you're debugging errors or tracking requests, this guide is for you. Before we start coding, you first need an APItoolkit account. If you don't already have one, head over to apitoolkit.io and create one. I'll leave a guide for you to follow in the description of this video. The next thing we need is you need to make sure that node.js is installed on your computer. The next step is we need a Fastify project. Now you could head over to Fastify and create one. This is the website, because just to save time, I'll not be showing you how to create a Fastify project, but it's quite easy. So that being said, let's dive right into the tutorial. We just have a very simple Fastify project that says hello world. As you can see right here on port 8000, it shows the message hello world, means our application is working. Now, how do we enable monitoring in our Fastify application using APItoolkit? To enable monitoring in our application, we have to install a couple of packages. So in this particular code, we are going to install APItoolkit Fastify and OpenTelemetry auto instrumentation. These include the APItoolkit SDK and the OpenTelemetry tools for tracing and monitoring. Now our SDK has been installed. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to create some environment variables. For our first environment variable over here, so this is just the address where the telemetry data will be sent to. The next thing you need to do is to specify the service name. Now you could call this anything. You can call it the name of your application, you could call it the branch you are working on, or you could call it basically anything. So in this case, I just named it Fastify demo, and you'll see where it's being used when we go to our APItoolkit dashboard. The next thing we need to do is to grab our API key. Now you can grab your API key from the APItoolkit dashboard. To grab your API key, head over to apitoolkit.io. You're going to obviously log in. So click on the project you want to use. Let me zoom this in a bit. So you go over to settings, API key, and then you're going to copy an API key over here. In my case, I'll be using the Fastify one. You can create a new API key for each of your projects. Let's go back to our code. Now I'm going to replace this with the API key. Now keep in mind, for Fastify, this would be in double quotes like this. Then you just replace this with your API key. For the next one, this would just be specifying the type of protocol. Then for the last one also, we have just some instrumentations here. You can just paste it down here. But the most important ones are just your API key here. So I'll be leaving the documentation to this, so you could actually check it out and learn more from it. Now let's import the packages we installed. Now to get our environment variables be loaded into our server, we have to paste this here. Also, we need to import the OpenTelemetry auto instrumentations we just installed, and make sure to keep this at the top. Import. All right, make sure to keep this at the top. The next thing we are going to do is we're going to import the SDK we installed. That's the APItoolkit Fastify SDK. So let's import it down here. And the next thing we'll do is we need Axios when it comes to HTTP requests. So we'll go ahead and install Axios. Now that Axios is installed, let's now import it right here too. With the new import, we have to now initialize a Fastify server instance. So as you can see here, we are linking APItoolkit to our server. And then of course, we are going to attach APItoolkit middleware right here. You can see how easy this is. So basically what's happening here, this is injecting APItoolkit middleware into Fastify. And also it sets up custom spans and traces for requests, response bodies, headers, and errors. So right here, let's modify our code so that we can be making a HTTP request to this URL. As you can see, we installed Axios for us to be able to do this. Let's save and run our server and see the results. Oh, of course, we have an error. Okay, we need to install the .env package. All right. Okay. I think we can now run our server. Okay. So our server is running, and let's head over to the browser and see what's going on. As you can see, we have got some more data over here, and this is a lot actually. Let's see, what's this? All right, just some random images from GitHub. Now let's head over to our APItoolkit dashboard. We head over to the Explorer tab. As you can see, we have like a whole lot of data from our Fastify application. Our service name was Fastify demo. And this is the reason why I said you can use basically any name. It could be your branch name, it could be your application name, whatever. This just specifies where the data is coming from. Coming from dev branch, this is coming from the Fastify app. Also, this is coming from the app we just built, which is Fastify demo. Now you can click on this to get more insights. Once you click on this, by the right hand side here, if you expand this, you can see everything, the response body, and you can see the raw data. You can see a lot of information coming from here. On the left hand side, so you can show filters. You can filter by a whole lot of things here. For example, let's filter by what? Let's filter by status 200. That's filtered by all the requests with status 200. Now let's go down. So yeah, you can filter by more things. Let's say, is there 404? I don't think there's any 404. So this is a easier way to filter the requests, the spans, the events, everything that's going on here. Now for you to see changes and abnormalities in your application, you can head over to the changes and errors tab. So over here, as you can see, there's been a modified field. You can see different errors. This is a type error. You can see everything that's happening in your application. This video was meant to be a short one, so I'm going to be leaving a documentation to the Fastify SDK so that you can read more on it and explore. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one.